vote.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Caldwell?
Next item we have is a pledge of allegiance and invocation for this evening.
I'm probably grateful for the opportunity to come together. We ask you to move the minds of our each and every person. Special assembly school, that we will be about going to county business, Lord, keep it all like that. Watch over and protect us as we go forward. Asking your presence in your name, in your name to come. In Jesus' name we pray.
Staff request approval of the agenda with one added item in closed session, a legal matter.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, with roll call vote.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Caldwell?
Staff is also requesting approval of the consent agenda. It consists of the minutes of the March 1 meeting, budgetary matters, warrants, and resolution 21-119, personnel matters resulting from closed session.
Move we approve the consent agenda.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as amended. All in favor, with roll call vote.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Caldwell?
There is no public hearing this evening. There are no items for appointments. The next item would be citizens' comments. If there's anyone here who wishes to speak to the Board of Supervisors, please come forward and state your name. Seeing as there are none, no one that wishes to speak tonight, old business is our next item. There are no items there, but we do have several items of other matters. The first item is the FY22 proposed budget. You all have been given information regarding the budget. You have first in your agenda attachment L, the budget calendar. Staff is looking for approval of the budget calendar with several proposed work sessions. We'd like for the first work session to be held on March 22nd, which is next Monday. We have a couple of follow-up work sessions on April 5th, April 19th, and April 26th. Is there a motion that we approve the budget calendar?
What time?
We would like for there to be some consensus among the board. I would suggest 3 p.m. for next Monday.
Move we approve the proposed budget calendar as presented.
So,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the budget calendar as amended. All in favor, with roll call vote.
Ms. Astrop? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Caldwell? Mr. Kane?
okay, so our first budget work session will be next Monday afternoon, beginning at 3 p.m. in the Commons. Mr. Brown, we will need to adjourn to next Monday at 3 p.m. at the end of this session.
Okay.
You have supplemental information. There's plenty of information there for you to review before you do come back for the budget work session. I think it would help to be familiar with some of that information. The next item we have on this evening's agenda is the tax exempt status for logging companies and corporations. About a month or so ago, you heard from Mr. Ron Jenkins. He's with the Logging Association. He came before you to ask that Greensville County give some consideration to amending the tax ordinance to fully exempt the machinery and tools and personal property taxes on forest harvesting equipment. He has again reached out to me and asked for consideration of this request. I think that he gave a comprehensive overview when he was here before, but I have also asked Ms. Martha Swenson, the Commissioner of Revenue, to come before you tonight to give you some more data concerning the exemption of this sort of tax. Ms. Swenson?
Good morning. Good morning. Good evening, Honorable Board of Supervisors. I just want to explain a few things about this logger, the loggers. Right now, we don't have any loggers in Greensville County. I only remember one logger we have had years ago, and he died about 8 years ago. So right now, we don't have any loggers in Greensville County. I polled the commissioners of the revenue around the state to see who was allowing the exemption, and I got this response. Of the commissioners that responded, only 4 counties are giving the exemption, and they do have loggers located in their locality. That's Allegheny County, Orange County, Pennsylvania County, and Brunswick County, but only on certain pieces of equipment. Localities that have loggers in their locality and their supervisor decided not to exempt are Amelia County, Franklin County, King and Queen County, Washington County, James City County, Bland County, Isle of Wight, Culpeper County, Franklin City, Cumberland County, Halifax County, Nottaway County, Prince Edward County, Buchanan County, and Frederick County. Localities that are undecided about this were Sussex County, Southampton County, and Dinwiddie County. A note from the commissioners that have loggers state, having localities that exempt the property when it doesn't affect them has an impact on the localities that do have loggers. Another commissioner states, localities that exempt loggers just because it won't affect them in turn cause more problems for localities like mine. Just remember to consider, just something to consider. I would appreciate those without a dog in the fight to take a stance in exempting these items to help save me and those like me the extra headaches. Now, what I did is, years ago, I remember when we did have a logger, I remember what we did as far as assessing. And if you look on the second page, what I did is I took like a 2012 Kenworth log truck. It would have a value of $50,630. The tax on it would be $2,531.50. A 2012 Pitts log trailer, valued at $11,250, would have a tax of $562.50. The total value is $61,880 at the $5 rate, which is our personal property rate. The tax would be $3,094. Now, under the machinery and tools, a Caterpillar, $75,000 at the 20% ratio would be valued at $15,000. The skidder, we use the 20% ratio. We use the original cost price, and these were just more or less things that I remembered from years ago. You take the original cost price times the 20% ratio, and that's the value, that the assessed value that you would use. Or like a skidder would be valued at $57,900. At the 20% rate would be $11,580. The Feller Buncher, $69,500 at the 20% ratio, $13,900. A Mulcher, $69,500 at the 20% ratio, $13,900. The Delimber, $65,000 at the 20% ratio, $13,000. The Stump Grinder, $10,831 at the 20% ratio, be $2,170. The Wood Chipper, $64,700 at the 20% ratio, the value would be $12,940. The Knuckle Boom Log Loader, $95,000 at the 20% ratio is $19,000, excuse me. The total machinery and tools is $101,490. At the $4 rate would be $4,059.60. So the total tax on personal property and machinery and tools for a logger, and this is low, because you can imagine what those machines would cost. This is just a low value that I'm putting on them. So the tax would be $7,153.60. So if we had loggers, that's the way it would be figured. So now in the future, right now we don't have any loggers, but in the future there may come a time where the county may need money. And if we do, and we have loggers in the county, this would help out the county with a whole lot with their tax base. Like I said, right now, we don't have any. You would have to consider changing the ordinance, because right now we do have the ordinance for the loggers to be taxed. So are there any questions?
I do have one question. Counties like Brunswick, they say they don't charge, but they do charge on certain things.
No, they charge personal property and machine and tools. But when I talked to Camilla up at Brunswick County, the Commissioner of the Revenue, she said that her supervisors decided to have, to exempt only a portion of the machinery and tools. They're not exempting everything.
Right.
They're not exempting the trucks and the trailers.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask. When you have counties that only exempt certain things, do we know what those things are and why they chose them?
No, ma'am, and at this point, she didn't know herself, because they just decided that a few weeks ago. Are there any other questions for Ms. Swenson? Thank you, Ms. Swenson. Staff is requesting some direction as far as how to proceed. There would have to be notices regarding the board's intent to propose for adoption of the ordinance, which would afford tax relief and whole or part. And this, of course, would have to be published in the newspaper. If you choose not to go forward with those, then I think we need to respond to Mr. Jenkins and let him know your decision after this evening's meeting.
Do you need a motion, do you need a formal motion on it?
I think it would be good to state your will to put this to an end.
I'd like to make a motion that we do not grant the tax exempt status at this time.
Second.
It's been moved and second, we do not grant the tax at this time. All in favor, will roll call vote.
Ms. A. Sharp, Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Kane, Mr. Cole.
The next item on this evening's agenda is regarding the landfill yearly contract. It's a renewal with LaBelle Association. Mr. Pope is here to give you details of the contract.
Good evening, everyone. We currently have a contract with LaBelle Associates to provide for groundwater compliance monitoring, quarterly landfill gas monitoring, Virginia Pollution Discharge Elimination System Program Management, quarterly facility inspections, annual stormwater pollution prevention plan training, and general consultant services. This is a contract we've had in place for years. It's a renewable contract, renewable every year. This year, there has been one change to the contract that county staff requested. In the previous years, LaBelle has only done one quarterly DEQ inspection. We've requested them to do the other three. I think that's for liability purposes. It's best to have them to do it. The change in the contract, if you look at the second sheet, it gives you a rundown of the contracts we've had FY18 through FY22. It's an $1,800 additional charge. That money's already in this year's operating budget, and it's been requested for FY22's operating budget. So staff has asked for permission to go ahead and, as the county administrator, execute the contract with LaBelle Associates. Are there any questions?
I'd like to make a motion to renew the contract, yearly contract.
It's been moved and second that we renew the contract as presented. All in favor, will roll call vote.
Ms. A. Sharp, Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Kane, Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last item on this evening's agenda is the COVID-19 update from Mr. Owens.
Good evening, board members. According to the latest report the Cradle Health District put out, they March the 5th, 2021, Greensville County reported a total of 1,464 positive cases of COVID-19 since reporting began last March. During the same time frame, it also reported 25 deaths associated with COVID. The city of Emporia had a total of 619 cases reported with 40 deaths, which brings our total in the community to 2,083 confirmed cases of COVID and 65 deaths reported. The COVID-19 testing team from Walmart conducted a 4-day testing event in our area from March 3rd through the 6th. Mr. Larry Dixon with Walmart and his team administered over 2,500 doses of the COVID vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, during that 4-day event. All of the people vaccinated during the event were given an appointment for their second dose prior to leaving the clinic. Staff's biggest challenge during the event was receiving a list from the health department on the number of people scheduled that day for a vaccine. At the end of the day, scheduled appointments each day. The Walmart team also administered vaccines to people that were not registered, that had signed up earlier that day, as we did not waste any doses of the vaccine. The Walmart team will return during the week of March 24th for the second dose clinic, and during this clinic, there will be no first dose vaccine will be administered, only second dose, because they have an accurate count of how many first doses that they gave out during that first event. All right. Our staff continued to conduct our second dose clinics on Tuesday evenings to administer the second dose of the Moderna vaccine. And our goal is to clean up all of the remaining second doses that have already received that first dose prior to starting our new vaccine clinic. Staff is currently finalizing the details between the Virginia Department of Health and a contract provider to conduct weekly vaccination clinics for our citizens. One of the challenges is getting information that's stored in the state call center on how many people actually from the Greensville and Emporia area are signed up on that 877 call list to see how many people that we anticipate vaccinating. And one option your staff is exploring is to establish a local call center for citizens by community to call and schedule an appointment for our local clinics. If we can utilize a local call center, this would eliminate our dependence on information coming from the state level and filtering it down to the local level. All right. During the Walmart clinics, we tested that by having a mini version of a call center that we operated one day. We were very successful in filling the vacancies that we had between what was on the schedule and reaching our 600 goal per day event. And with the addition of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the Virginia Department of Health has indicated that supply vaccines available to our citizens will be readily available. Our goal is to conduct an adequate number of vaccination clinics to put a shot in the arm of everybody in our community that wishes to receive the COVID vaccine. Right? And we want to do this as soon as the logistics of receiving the vaccines, and we can schedule the clinic and have this conducted as quick as possible. And staff would also like to extend a thank you to the Walmart team, to the volunteers, and all the businesses that supported our events up to this day, and we look forward to continuing support to make citizens of Greensville and Emporia safe. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allison.
Mr. Owens. Thank you.
One alibi round. If any of the board members know of anyone that's interested in receiving the COVID vaccine, if they can put together a list, we'll make sure that we add those people and get those added. And we encourage the citizens to look at the webpage and to watch out for code red alerts and things as we finalize these clinics that the staff will be putting together to operate right here at Golden Lake. Thank you.
Staff recommend you adjourn to Monday, March 22nd at 3 p.m.
Before we adjourn, I'd like to give a move after the water and sewer that we go back into closed session.
I'd like to make a motion that we go back and close section of the water and sewer.
Second.
It's been moved and second, go back into closed session of the water and sewer. All in favor? Roll call vote.
Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen?
I move now to adjourn until March 22nd, 3 o'clock for budget. It's been moved and second, to adjourn. All in favor, we roll call vote.
Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen? I'd like to make a motion that we go into regular session of water and sewer.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen? A motion for specification of closed section meeting resolution 2016.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen? A motion for approval of the agenda.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen? Approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen? There's no public hearing. Item with, appointment none, all business none, new business. Resolution WS 2137.
Good evening. Attachment in your agenda packet is regarding the Jarrett Water Treatment Plant Expansion Project. The Water and Sewer Authority is investigating potential funding sources for this project. Rural development is one of those funding sources. Rural development is requesting an update to the environmental assessment completed during the 2019 preliminary engineering report. B&B Consultants prepared the 2019 report and has offered to update the environmental assessment for a lump sum cost of $2,000. Staff recommends that you authorize B&B Consultants to complete the updated environmental assessment under their existing general engineering services agreement. If you adopt this resolution, it will be resolved that the Board of Directors authorizes B&B Consultants to update the 2019 report for a lump sum cost of $2,000. And you authorize the Water and Sewer Authority Director or Assistant Director to execute the engineering services work order. If there are no questions, staff request that you adopt resolution WS 21-37.
Resolution WS-21-37.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ashcraft? Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Kane? Mr. Cullen?
Thank you.
I guess we got to extend the resolution WS 20-65.
Yes, you have attachment F in your agenda. It's the resolution that was approved in September. One resolution was approved for the county also placing a moratorium on merit increases. Item 3 in that resolution states, unless the moratorium has been rescinded at an earlier date, at a duly convened meeting of the Water and Sewer Authority in March 2021, the authority will review the moratorium affected hereby and make such revisions. Mr. Gibson, the Assistant Director of the Authority, and myself have reviewed the finances and the revenue streams of the authority and found them to be sufficient. At this time, we're asking you to rescind Resolution 20-65 on the halt on merit increases for the employees.
I move we approve rescinding the resolution WS 20-65.
Roll call. Ms. A. Scott. Mr. Brown. Mr. King. Mr. Howard.
Motion to adjourn?
Ms. A. Scott. Mr. Brown. Mr. King. Mr. Howard.